Yay, we're live! Oh, I'm sorry I'm late, guys. I was having some technical difficulties. I'm just gonna make this bigger. Get ready. Whew. I was kind of stressed out because I was having trouble getting the video going. Yoga's the easy part. It's the live streaming that's the challenge. Okay. I'll wait a minute or two for a couple more people to open up the video. Thanks for joining. We're starting like 10 minutes late, so we'll go from like 5:10 to 6:10-ish if you need to budget your time. But our philosophy here is come late, leave early, do whatever you need to do. All are welcome. And while I'm sitting here chit-chatting, I want to let you know that we are offering these live streamed community yoga classes in service to our community and for free, but they are donation based. So if you feel so called and able to donate, I'm teaching from New York City, so anything that you want to donate to New York City, send it to on Venmo. I believe it's at the Glitter Goddesses. I'll throw it in the description below. And then just write for New York City. I've been shouting out Crown Heights Mutual Aid. It's this group of neighbors who buy groceries for one another. They buy supplies, they run errands, things like that for families, primarily people of color who have been affected by COVID-19. And then I also have my colleagues in Rhode Island, and they raise money for their community in Providence. All right. Thanks for joining us. My name is Genevieve Marino, and today we're going to be playing with arm balances. So I hope you're ready. If you have some props, they could be helpful. So I've got yoga blocks. You don't need yoga blocks. You could replace them with a big book or pillows or something like that. Let me tilt my screen. At the beginning and end of class, I'll be using a blanket. A big couch blanket is fine. You don't need anything special for sitting on. And we'll get started. And we're gonna first come to a seat, and we're gonna put the soles of our feet together. So actually I'll tilt the camera so you can see me, my feet. So I'm sitting with like the edge of my butt on this blanket, and it's nice to give yourself some height. And the soles of my feet are together, and you can adjust this to the intensity of your liking. Further away would be less intense. The closer you bring your feet towards your groin would be more intense. And you want to kind of allow the knees to just soften down. This is called Baddha Konasana. And for right now, I want you to try and aim for a nice tall spine, which is why I've added the blanket underneath my sitting bones. And just allow the hips to open up. And breathe. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your right foot and you're gonna place it flat on the ground so that your foot is in line with your hip and toes are facing forward. You're gonna keep left leg exactly the same as it is. Then you're gonna take your right hands, crawl them forward until maybe you can connect your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Then you're gonna reach forward and reach forward and reach forward, and then slowly turn towards the left. And if you want, you can reach the left arm up. Then open up for a nice twist. And breathe into those sticky spaces. Maybe it's the right hip. Maybe it's the low back. Maybe it's the left side body. Breathe into that sticky space. And bring the left hand down. Come back to center and return back to Baddha Konasana. We'll stay here for a moment before we move to the left side. Again, we return to our posture. Sternum or chest lifting up. Hips softly opening. And then we'll step the left foot flat on the floor, in line with the left hip. And by in line, I mean it's not like here or here. It's right in front of the hip bone. You're gonna leave the right leg the way it is, and you're gonna reach the left fingertips forward, crawl them forward until you feel the connection of the left shoulder to the left inner leg, inner thigh, inner knee. And then, if you'd like, you can reach the right arm up and feel a nice twist. And again, here we breathe into the sticky spaces. We twist open a little bit. Maybe the eyes glance up at the right fingertips. Maybe the left knee squeezes slightly onto the left shoulder to deepen your twist. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring the right hand down. Return back to Baddha Konasana. And then from here, you can take, if you were sitting on a blanket like I was, or a pillow, you can move that off to the side. And what I want you to do is come to lying on your back. Like this. And you're gonna reach your arms up for a nice stretch. Reach your legs away from your fingertips, your toes away from your fingertips. And then bring your arms down by your side. You're gonna bend the right knee and place the right foot on the floor. Then, without using your hands, see if you can see how close you can bring your right knee to your right chest. See if you can keep your left heel on the ground while you bring your right knee a little bit closer. How is lying on the ground so hard? Okay, then you can put your hands around your shin. And if you want, you can give a nice little tug towards your ribs to feel that nice stretch. Okay, then you're gonna take your right hand, you're gonna hook your right toes to start with, and for today, I want you to go inside the leg, so not outside, inside. And you're gonna take your peace fingers and you're hook them around your toe. And I want you to experiment with straightening the leg as much as you can and feel a nice opening. And if you can, and if it's a part of your practice, go ahead and straighten the leg. But there is value in, over time, working and slowly opening up this hamstring just by feeling the process. And you get the same work by taking your hands around your thigh, around your calf, like this. And I want you to play with bending and unbending that knee. And you know, everybody's different. I actually am a person with super long arms, so this isn't even sometimes deep for me. And sometimes this actually feels deeper. Okay. Once you feel satisfied with your hamstring stretch, we're going to take this leg into half happy baby. So again, just for today, we're going to go inside and we're going to bend the right knee, and we're going to try and get the right knee as close as we can to the right shoulder while still maintaining a nice curve in our back. And if it's too much on your left hip, you can bend the left leg. That's fine. This is a nice right hip. It's actually a deep hip stretch for me in the right hip. Okay. Then you're going to bring that right foot down to the floor and extend the right leg. Now it's the left leg's turn. Bend the left knee. And, without using the hands, see how close you can get the left knee to your left ribs and still reach the right heel forward, push the right heel down to the ground, and bring it closer, closer, closer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, then you're going to take the left arm, and just for today, you're going to go on the inside, and you're going to hook your peace fingers around your big toe, and you're going to experiment with straightening the left leg. And if you like the idea of incorporating movement into your practice, you can bend and unbend the left knee. If it suits you, go ahead and straighten the left leg with your fingers around your toes. If you get a better stretch with your hands clasped around your thigh, that is a perfect option. You can also have your hands around your shin. Ooh, that feels nice. And you're aiming for a hamstring stretch. We're trying to open up the back of the legs because we'll be using them very shortly. All right, then bend the left knee and we're going to come into half happy baby. So again, you're going to take your left peace fingers, wrap them around your left toe, and we're going in from the inside today. And you're just going to see about the connection you can get between your left knee and your left shoulder. Maybe you feel the connection of the outer left arm to the inner left leg. Maintain the curve in your low back, maybe by moving the tailbone towards the floor. Right leg can be bent or straight. And we'll place the left foot back on the ground. And you can roll 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, whatever you like, up to seated. Give your back a nice little massage. Hey guys. All right. Let's come to standing at the top of our mat. And I'll adjust this so you can see me better. Okay. Reach the arms up and inhale and drop into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the back. Exhale. You have options here. Step back to chaturanga, or you could do knees, chest, chin. Peel yourself up for a cobra or some sort of back bend here. And then return to down dog. So those are your vinyasa modifications. I talked about this in prior classes. If you've taken class with me, you can always do that. You can skip a vinyasa. You can put the knees down because it's better to teach your muscles how to do these poses and build the strength than to just muscle your way through them incorrectly or injure yourself potentially. So you're in down dog. And I'll shout out other ways to do it as we go. You're gonna bend your right knee and you're gonna bring your right knee forward between your hands, look forward, and then step the right foot down next to the right thumb. If it didn't make it all the way up there, scoot it up. Okay, place the left foot down. Untuck, sorry, I meant left knee down. Untuck the left toes. Crawl your fingertips forward towards 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And so that you feel a connection of your right knee and your right armpit. Then I want you to swing the arms forward and up. Try not to come out of the bend of the right knee. Now you're in a low lunge. You feel strength in the right heel moving energetically towards the back of the mat, even though it doesn't go anywhere. Left shin pushes down into the mat. Arms reach up. Maybe you look up. Maybe you find a little back bend. And then you bring your hands down. You're going to take your right hand to the inside of your right foot now and scoot your right foot over to the right like 1 or 2 inches. So now you should feel a connection, and you can put your left hand down too. You're going to feel a connection again of that right shoulder to the inner right leg, inner right knee. Really feel those two things pushing into each other. And you're going to stay here and feel that hip opening. Or if you're like, I want to intensify this, you can take your forearms to the ground, both forearms. If you want to prop them up onto like a book or something, that's fine. Or you can keep your elbows hovering. And then what I want you to do is kind of traction your hands back towards the back of your mat. They're not actually going to go anywhere. You're just going to feel the pull and look forward. And you should feel like hip opening. and right knee. The inner right leg is connecting to the right shoulder, maybe squeezing in a bit. All right, walk the hands back so that they're in line with the right foot. And you're gonna shift the hips up and back and straighten the right leg for this half pyramid shape. You can bring the right toes up and flex the right foot if you want, or you can keep it down, your choice. If you want, walk the fingertips forward and think about lengthening out the spine as well. And look forward. And breathe. Rebend the right knee. Place the hands down, flat on the floor. You can keep the back knee down and do your knees, chest, chin. Or if you want a little bit more of an intense option, you can lift the back knee, step back to plank, lower down to chaturanga, untuck the toes for up dog with lifted thighs, and down dog. So you have so much choice in this. Even if I just shout out one thing, you know, you modify as you need. Okay, we're going to do that on the left side. Step the left leg forward. And place it down next to your left thumb. Scoot it up if it didn't make it as far as you wanted it to. Then you're going to put the right knee down, untuck the right toes. You're going to walk the right and left fingertips forward so that they're reaching towards 10 and 2 if you had a clock face on the ground. And the left knee is plugging in, and by that I mean it's like literally inside of my left armpit. That's what you're seeking. You might not be there today, but that's what you're going for. Okay. Keep reaching the fingers out as you bring them up and try to keep the bend in the left leg. The left heel is energetically drawing back towards the back of the mat. Right heel is pushing down into the ground. You're seeking this right angle here. Shin perpendicular to the mat. Arms reaching up. If you want, if it's a part of your practice, find a little back bend. And then bring the hands down. You're going to bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot and just scoot the left foot over 1 or 2 inches. You're seeking a connection of the left shoulder to the inner left knee. You can stay here. If you want, you could bring the forearms down. You can have the elbows hover. What's best for me is having the elbows hover, I think. But play around with it. See, this is not that great for me. Probably bent elbows. You try these things out and experiment and see what option you like. There is a pretty intense hip stretch here. And if you want, you can crawl the fingertips forward, place the hands flat on the ground, kind of traction the hands back towards the back of the mat, look forward to try and lengthen the spine, even in this crazy pose. And we'll give it a couple seconds to kind of open up the left hip. And the back and the front of the right hip too. And here you can walk the hands back so that they're in line with the left foot. And you're gonna straighten the left leg and bring the hips up and back for a half pyramid. And here, you can frame the left foot again if you'd like. Left leg does not have to be straight. It's straightening. The action is straightening to open up the hamstring, the back of the left leg. Does not matter how bent. And if you're a person that usually hyperextends, you want to keep a bit of a bend in your knee so that you don't overdo it and miss out on the stretch. Okay, you're going to rebend the left knee. And here, you have option to lift the back leg and go back into plank, or I'll show you what you can do if you want to keep your knee down. Keep the right knee down, bring the left hands back inside of the left foot, bring the left knee back to match your right knee, and here you're in a perfect plank with knees on the ground, lower for knees, chest, chin, curl up for cobra, or some kind of back bend, and move through tabletop and then down dog. While you're in this down dog, slightly bend your knees so that you can really stick your hips up and back. And as you bring your hips up and back, you lengthen out the sides of the waist. You can work towards straightening your legs without changing your knees and just trying to bring your heels closer to the floor. Then you're pushing into your fingertips so that you're not wearing all of this in your wrists. You look forward with your eyes a little bit. Forearms reaching towards the front of the room. They don't move, but that's the energy. And then bring your feet in between your hands. You can walk or you can hop them. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale for chair. With bent knees and hips moving back, back, back. And then stand tall, Samastitihi. We're going to do that one more time with a slight little variation. Reach the arms up, sink the hips down and back, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the heart forward, lengthen. It's okay to have bent knees here. Exhale, step it back. For chaturanga, feel free to put your knees down. Back bend. Downward facing dog. You're going to bend the right knee and bring it forward and place the right foot down by the right thumb. If it didn't make it as far as you wanted it to, scoot it up. Each time you do that, it's going to get a little bit farther and farther. Okay. You're going to walk hands forward, 10 and 2, like your clock face. Make sure your feet are hips width distance apart, like they're not on a tight rope. Okay. Sweep the arms forward and up. Try to keep the bend going in your right knee. Feel the right heel dragging back. This time we're keeping the back knee lifted. If you need to, go ahead and put it down. But the option I'm offering is to lift it. Lift the arms. Put a little back bend in it if you'd like. Keep the legs working. And breathe. And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And straighten the right leg. From here, we're gonna move into pyramid pose. So you can step the left foot in just a little bit, and you're gonna have the left foot kind of like a warrior 1 foot, toes are angled to the left top corner of the mat. You can put slight bends in your knees so that you're not locking them. And then you're gonna bring your hands to your hips, and I want you to bring your hips, you're gonna tilt them and bend, but the idea is they're moving up, 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 and out, 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 and you're aiming your chest forward, forward, forward. You could put hands down anywhere. If you wanted to prop them up, you can. If you want to keep them at your hips, you can. If you want to fold forward, you can. I'll let you choose, okay? I think I'm going to keep them at my hips. And lengthen out that spine. You can also interlace your fingers. That's what I'm going to do actually. And reach them behind your back. Okay. Bring the hands down to frame the right foot. Then you're going to bend the right knee. Spin the back toes up. And again, you're going to find this sort of lizard position. Bring the right hand to the inside of your right foot and move the right foot to the right about an inch or two. So this is similar to where we were in the beginning. You have the option to put your back knee down again, just like we did a moment ago. If you want to intensify this, you can lift the back leg. And now this time, still feeling the connection of the right shoulder and the right inner leg, you're going to keep your hands by your feet, and you can bend to like chaturanga arms or work towards that. And reach the chest forward. Keep looking forward. Squeeze the right leg towards the right shoulder. Try to lengthen out the upper back. I know it's so hard. Okay, and from here you're going to vinyasa. So you can always put down your back knee, or if you want to really work out, you're going to keep the back leg lifted and move to plank. Chaturanga. Your back bend, like up dog, and then down dog. And then here you do the things you know you're supposed to do in down dog. But it's going to be a brief one. You're going to step the left leg forward. And by left leg, I mean left foot. You're going to bend the left knee. Bring it forward, bring it forward, bring it forward. Place the left foot down. Scoot it up if it didn't make it as far as you wanted it to. Then you're going to walk. Hands out, 10 and 2. Look forward. Reach the arms forward and then come on up to high lunge. It's always this side for me. You can always put the back knee down. But if you want, keep the back leg lifted. Lift the arms. You feel the left heel drawing back. It's not actually moving, but that's the energy you have. Working towards bending to that 90-degree angle in the front leg. Reaching up, up, up. Maybe a mini back bend. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the left leg. Moving towards pyramid pose. Bring the hands to the hips. You're going to spin the back heel down. Toes of the right foot are pointing towards the right front corner of the mat. Feet are hips width distance apart. So if you divided your mat in half, and there's a line going down long ways, your left toes would be towards the left, your right toes would be towards the right. Put a little bend, slight bend in both legs. And then you're gonna tip forward over a straight-ish, straightening left leg for pyramid pose. And actually, you could do whatever you want with your arms. You can keep them at your hips. You can do this variation. You could bring it to the ground. And here, you're actually feeling the inner left leg moving forward. So if you put a slight bend in your left leg, you're feeling the knee move forward, and the inner right leg is actually moving backwards. And sometimes thinking that really levels out the hips. Okay, you're gonna rebend the left knee, and we're gonna come into this like lizard thing. I think this is called lizard. You're gonna move the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Scoop the left foot out just like an inch or two. You can always put the right knee down just like we did before. If you want the more intense version, you're gonna lift the right leg, the right knee off the ground. Come to like chaturanga-ish arms, and by that I mean elbows are bending. And look forward. Feel that connection of the left inner leg line squeezing onto the left outer shoulder and tricep. And you're looking forward, and your chaturanga arms or elbows are bent, and hands are dragging back. You're looking forward, aiming for like a flat back. And it's a big hip stretch here. All right, and here, you're gonna step it back in vinyasa in the way that you'd like. If you wanna skip it, we're going to down dog. So, you do you. I've literally just been sitting in a chair all day, so I'm gonna go for the plank and the chaturanga. And here, you can pedal out feet, push the fingertips down, and then just check in with your down dog and make sure you got good alignment. So your hands are shoulder width apart or a little bit wider. Your pointer fingers are facing the top of the mat, and fingers are just spread nicely, not too much, not too little. Your legs are hip bone width distance apart, and your feet are hips distance apart. Your heels are reaching towards the mat, but they might not be touching yet. Knees have a slight bend to them so that you have a real crisp angle at the hips. Tailbone drawing up to lengthen the spine. You can also energetically feel your 2 feet moving away from each other as if you can like rip your mat apart. And of course, you can't see me doing anything. But by doing that, I feel like not only is it like crazy hard, I feel like a little widening in the low back, which is nice. It really lights up your legs. Okay. But hopefully you find some stability. You're like, wow, my legs are strong. Look forward. Get your feet in between your hands at the top of the mat by stepping or hopping. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, Savasutihi, stand tall. Okay. This is the last chair pose of class. Inhale the arms up and sink the hips down and back. Bend the knees. Look up, maybe the hands touch, and fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin. Up dog, down dog. All right. Get ready for some fun. Lift the right leg. 3-leg down dog. Keep the eyes steady. Bend the right knee. Open up the hip. Press down with the fingertips so that you can find stability. Bend the right knee a little bit more. Even more. If you want. And then you're going to bring the right knee to the left elbow and just pause, hover. Don't put the foot down. Look forward. Bring the foot back for 3-leg down dog. This time, bring the right knee to the right elbow or outer tricep. Feel the connection. Don't put the foot down. Pause, look forward, and bring it back to 3-leg down dog. See a pattern? Then you're going to bring the knee forward again. Hover. Please don't put the foot down. Look forward. Reach the right knee forward. Oh my gosh, put it down. Scoot your right foot forward a little bit so that it is in line with your right thumb. Then you're going to spin the back heel down for warrior 2 and come on up. And so I'll talk you through the setup here. Right heel can intersect back arch or back heel. Either is fine. And you're going to feel your hips moving out to their respective sides. You're seeking, I can do a lot better job. You're seeking that the shin of the front leg is parallel to the ground. You feel the right foot, heel, energetically dragging back. Then you extend the arms. And you try and lift your chest up. And if you want, you look over your right fingertips, that's traditional. And you breathe. Okay. Straighten the right leg. And then we're going to spin the back toes around. Widen the stance a little bit so that your feet are hip bone distance apart. And you're going to come into runner's lunge. Similar shape to what we've been doing. Then you're going to take right hand inside of your right foot, scoot it out of it. So we've done this many times. Okay, but here's where it changes. So feel that connection of right shoulder to right inner leg. And if you want, lift the right foot off the floor and hover it. Make a shadow and put it down. How'd it go? You can always place your knee down and try. I actually think that's a little harder. You can also take your hand and see how you can do it. Try with left hand. Okay. We're going to do it 2 more times. Feel the connection. Squeeze inner right leg, outer right shoulder. Lift the foot off the ground and hover it. Put it back down. Look forward. Lift the foot off the ground. Put it back down. Okay. Take it back. Vinyasa. Or skip it. Time for left side. Come down. Either stay in down dog, come down, take a break, take a sip of water. You can do this. All right. If you're ready, come into down dog. Reach the left leg up. Bring the left knee. Oh wait, we gotta open the hip. Bring the left leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip. Push the fingertips down so that you feel you have a sturdy 3-leg down dog. Okay, you're gonna bring the left knee to right elbow. And look forward and hover. Bring it back to 3-leg down dog. Left knee to left elbow tricep. And hover, feel the connection. Look forward and bring it back. Left knee hovers, center, reaching forward, knees reaching forward, right heel's reaching back. Push down, look forward, and then step the left leg forward. Phew. Scoot it up if it didn't make it to where you wanted. And then spin the back heel down and come up for warrior 2. And so again, you're looking for left heel to right arch or right heel. You're seeking that perpendicular shin. Left heel is dragging towards the back of the mat, even though it doesn't go anywhere. Arms spread. Look over the left fingertips. Reach the chest up. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Three, 2, 1. Straighten the left leg for a moment. Then we're going to come into a runner's lunge on the left side. So you're going to spin the back heel up and come onto the toes. You're going to bend the left leg and come into this shape. And you're going to want left hand inside of left foot. And if you need to, scoot the left foot over a little bit. Then I want you to come to chaturanga arms. And by that, I mean bent elbows. And you're kind of looking forward like this. You always have the option of putting the knee down. Okay. Then what I want you to do is lift the left foot off the ground and hover it. Maybe show it to the left wall or whatever's to the left of you. Put it back down. Whew. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. Feel the connection between, you know what I'm going to say, the left shoulder and the inner left leg. Squeeze them together. Hover the foot. Right leg's reaching back. Put it down. Look forward. Reach and hover the left foot and put it down. And then vinyasa or skip it. All right. Bring the knees down if you want another break. Okay. So what you've been doing is actually harder than the arm balance in a way. We're going to do the arm balance now, The arm balance is called Ekapada Kundanyasana 2. Actually saying that might be harder than doing it. It's all about finding balance and really feeling the connection of like arm to inner leg. I'll demo it while I explain it. And at any point, just like this whole class, you could be working on stage 1. You could continue on to stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. It's all about the process. People doing a really good step 1 and step 2 are gonna get more out of the pose than just like trying to do everything. Okay. So we're gonna do the same thing that we've been doing. We're gonna step the right foot forward and try to get it outside of your right hand. If not, you can always step it forward and then shift it over like we've been doing for the entirety of class. Okay. Then you can work towards getting those chaturanga arms. By that, I mean the elbows are bending 90 degrees like that. You can stay here. This is stop number 1. And you really want to feel the shoulder connecting to the inner knee. Okay. Then, if you want to, you can tip forward and lift the right leg and show it to the right side of the room. That's stop number 2. Oh my goodness. Then, if you want, you can lift the back leg. Step number 3. If you want, straighten the legs. Stop 4. And come back. Or, if you're like, absolutely not, what I want you to do is visualize yourself doing any one of these steps. In your mind, picture yourself doing it. If you want. And picture yourself doing it with good alignment. And imagine the feelings. Because you can't do any of this if you can't even picture yourself in the pose. So while you're picturing yourself doing this, do it with good alignment. So let's all do that together. You stop at any point you want to. If you're super scared, actually, that you're going to face plant, you can always take your blanket and put it in front. You have only a couple of inches if you do fall. Okay, so let's all do the right leg first. It doesn't really matter, but it'll help when I'm giving you instructions. So, bring the right foot forward next to your right thumb. Switch hand and foot. So scoot the foot to the right a couple of inches. Then I want you to really feel the connection of right shoulder to right inner leg. You can stop here. This is stop number 1. If you want to go to stop number 2, you're going to lift the right foot and show it to the right wall or whatever. Stop 2. Then you're going to bend your elbows, working towards 90 degrees. And if you want, lift the back leg. Look forward. Straighten legs if you want. And then come down. And go back to down dog. Yay! How'd it go? Okay. Can't just do it on one side. You have to try the other leg now. It could feel totally different. Maybe this is your lucky side. Come back to down dog. You're going to step the left foot forward. Next to the left thumb. Swap left hand, left foot. Scoot the left foot over a bit. So you have foot, hand, hand. And you really feel the connection of the left outer shoulder and tricep to left inner leg, inner knee, and you guys squeeze those together and look forward. Okay, you can stop here, as I said, or put the knee down. If you want to keep going, then you're gonna lift left foot, show it to the left wall, come forward onto chaturanga arms. If you want, lift the back foot, straighten it, look forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. You did it. Bring the knees to the ground. Yeah. All right. You made it. Let's cool down a bit. Let me know in the comments if that was like super scary, if you had a personal victory, if you hate arm balances, but you're never doing them again. If you're like, that was so strong, I feel liberated. Let me know. Okay. I'm just getting my blanket nice and neat again. We're gonna do some seated poses. So just like in the beginning of class, if you want a little height, you're gonna sit the tips of your sitting bones onto the edge of the blanket. And the reason you'd want to do this is just so you take out, like, I'll show you from this angle. You want to take out any rounding in the low back. So without the blanket, if I was a little bit like rounded by sitting up on a blanket, you want to try and lengthen out the spine. So experiment with adding a little bit of height. We're going to do Paschimottanasana. So that means legs out in front of you. They can be together or hip bone distance apart. Your choice for today. Keep the knees slightly bent at first. Walk the hands forward. If you can reach the toes, great. Otherwise, like I said in the beginning, it's the same pose as when we had one foot in the air. Hold wherever you can. And reach the chest forward. And slowly open the knees and feel a nice hamstring stretch. And notice, does it feel any different than it did in the beginning of class? Do you have a little more freedom from all the movement we've done? And breathe. Inhale, look up. Come on up. And then here, I'd like you to take your feet wide. And not super, super wide. Just like, make like a 90-degree angle, V sort of thing. And you're gonna keep your, actually I'm gonna tilt the camera down so you can really see what I'm doing with my legs. Okay. So like this. And you're gonna keep your knees bent at first. And then what I want you to do is bend the left knee and bring the left foot in. And then you're gonna rotate the foot very gently so that left knee is on the ground. And here's where I especially like the height underneath my sitting bones. And then the sole of the left foot is kind of, it might be touching your right thigh. Once your right foot is straight, you're working on that. Okay. Then you're going to take the right fingertips and crawl them towards your right foot. And then you can straighten your right leg if you want. Straighten-ish, straightening. And if you want to, you can place the right forearm onto the ground next to your leg. Then, I'd like you to open up And you're going to move your gaze up and around and look over your left shoulder. And here, you have the option to lift your left arm and reach it towards the ceiling, if this deepens your stretch. I actually have an arm injury, so I'm just going to keep my arm bent and work on opening. Actually, you know what I could do? You can also reach the left fingertips forward above your ear. And if you really want, you can close the pose by touching and connecting fingertips to toe tips. I'm going to stop here because I feel a really nice side body stretch. And if you want, you can roll open and around and see how that feels in your left side body. Try and reach your left sitting bone down to the ground to kind of lengthen the left side body. Breathe into that stickiness and come on up. Whew. Okay, we'll come out of it the way that we came in. Bring the left foot onto the ground and re-extend the left leg. Put a little bend in the knees. Bring the right foot in, step it onto the ground, and then rotate your leg. This is external rotation. Place the knee on the ground. Right foot's sole is connecting to your inner left leg. You're going to walk your left fingertips forward. Maybe your left forearm goes onto the ground. You feel the connection, arm to leg. And then straighten your left leg. Reach those fingertips forward. Then you're going to open up to the right. You're going to reach the right arm up and feel a stretch. If you want to, reach the fingertips over the left toes, aiming to get that arm in line with the ear, right ear. You can look up at your fingertips. You can close the gate if you want. But look, that kind of ruins my side stretch a little bit. So for me, it's actually better, I think, to either keep my arm like this or like this. So I'm gonna stop at one of the stages before the final stage. Final step. And reach and breathe into that stickiness. And maybe you play around with rolling open and close a little bit. And come on up. Place the right foot on the floor. Re-extend the right leg. Now for Shavasana, what I'm going to offer is, if you have the blanket and you want to use it as like a little bolster, you can kind of roll it up and you can kind of lie over it and find the spot where it's really comfortable. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my pelvis on the ground and then just sort of drape myself over this blanket as if it was a bolster. And what we'll do is tonight we'll take Shavasana in this shape. You can bring your hands down to your sides, reach them out right and left if you have the space, reach them above. I want you to do something that really feels nice. So this is kind of like a supported back bend. chest opening pose. And we'll stay here for a few minutes. You can use couch pillows, you can use a blanket, and if you don't have anything, that's fine. Just lie on the ground. I actually find that pretty nice sometimes. Shavasana. Please stay in Shavasana for as long as you can, for as long as you'd like. You deserve rest. You worked hard. It's amazing that our bodies can do these things. And if we keep at it, it's amazing the progress that we can make sometimes. So thank your body for giving its all. Thank your mind for attending to the big challenges that I presented you with. I hope you had fun experiencing something maybe that was new. If you enjoyed this class, we're doing this for a donation, and the donations go to our respective communities, either Providence, Rhode Island, or New York City, primarily individuals who are people of color, queer and trans folk. So when you Venmo, if you decide to do that, just let us know which community you'd like to serve. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.